Guys, and welcome to our follow-up review on the Puma EvoSpeed Tricks. We've actually put these boots through some very rigorous testing. We've put them through matches, we've put them through training drills, we've put them through tough physical training exercises, and now we've come up with our evaluation of these pair of boots. Be sure to check out our pre-test review and see how impressions have changed, if at all, in this particular video. So let's dive straight into the review. Let's first talk about the touch of these pair of boots. The touch of the EvoSpeed Tricks is actually really nice. With Puma, they've actually opted to give a thin microfiber upper. It's actually relatively thin, and we would compare it to the Nike Mercurial Vapor 9s in terms of thickness. It is by no means as thin as the F50 RD0s on the market currently, or the new Vapor 10s, but it still retains a relative thinness that's comparable to the Vapor 9s. It's not bad in any way, because what happens with such a relatively thin upper but not exactly overly thin upper is that with touching the ball, with dribbling, you get a barefoot feeling, but when you're actually taking shots with the ball, you don't actually feel a lot of the impact, and that's a good thing, because if you're taking hard shots, power shots, you don't want to be afraid of the ball, and this pair of boots gives you exactly that. So it's a very unique feeling, and it's something that we welcome as far as these pair of boots are concerned. It makes for a very nice experience in terms of shooting and dribbling. In terms of touch, it's also worthwhile to note that the star-shaped, sticky, glossy texture that we mentioned on the previous video actually provides a decent amount of grip on the ball, but something that's not overly sticky, and we still maintain this particular view. So what happens is, when you're dribbling the ball, when you're dribbling the ball, you make touches on the ball. There is a certain amount of grip, but it's a perfect amount of grip, because you don't want the ball to feel as if it's slipping away from you, but at the same time you don't want it to be sticking to your leg all the time. And Puma's new edition actually works very, very well. In terms of dribbling, it's great. It's the amount of stickiness is just nice, and when you're striking the ball, this amount of stickiness actually allows you to generate just the right amount of friction and amount of spin on the ball without encumbering your shots in any way. So if you're going for shots that require a lot of power but not much spin, you are free to do that. If you're required to make shots that have a bit more spin, you can do that with the Puma EvoSpeeds as well, because the sticky texturing gives you the perfect surface to do that. As far as passing the ball is concerned, with the Puma EvoSpeeds, we were a bit concerned initially when we wore the boots, because if you look at where the upper actually meets the sole plate, especially on the medial side, you notice that the meeting point and the meeting angle is actually quite acute. So because of the acute angle where they meet, we were a bit concerned that the surface wouldn't be flat enough for us to make passes, or it wouldn't actually feel that natural. But what we found out in the end is that the upper actually very strangely conforms to the shape of your foot, and this is something that's not really mentioned, but it's something that the Puma synthetic does very well in. After a few times where it actually conformed to the exact shape of our foot, and it allowed us a very responsive and a very one-to-one experience. The same actually goes for the toe box region, where it's actually a bit too high, but after a few times of wear, and generally after breaking them in, they actually conform to your forefoot and give you a very responsive experience, which is something that we would never have expected, because out of the box it seemed a bit stiff. It was very soft, but it did seem relatively stiff, and the toe box seemed a bit high. But all these worries were actually dispelled a few hours into play, because they actually conform to our feet, and we actually like that feeling very much. In terms of striking the ball with the Puma EvoSpeeds, it makes for, surprisingly, a very nice experience. It's actually owed to many factors. The first is actually the fit. It has an amazing fit the moment you put it into play. Initially, that might not be the impression you get when you hold it in your hand in stores or when you look at the stock photos online, but Trust me when I say that when I put it on, the feeling is totally different from what you expect, especially after a few hours of wear, because it fits so well. You get that responsive one-to-one feeling, and you get the sensation of being able to place your shots wherever you want them to. This in addition to the upper that's relatively thin, but not thin enough to cause pain when you're kicking the ball really hard, and the stickiness that the texture offers makes for just a great shooting experience that we did not expect, to be honest. And it's actually a particular aspect where the EvoSpeeds excel. Just a quick note about the traction, because we mentioned that Puma actually employs a very different system than many of the so-called speed boots out there. So what Puma has done, as we mentioned in the previous video, is that they've actually elongated the studs, made it a bit longer, but retained the conical configuration of more traditional boots. And this is a move that we applaud, because number one, it allows for great traction. The additional length allows you to dig into the ground very easily. It's not very broad, so you can actually sink the studs into the ground quite easily, and it allows for very, very good push off and very good traction. So that's it for our video performance review of the Puma EvoSpeed Tricks. This is actually defied our expectations. We've come to really like this pair of boots. It's really grown on us, not in terms of appearance but the way it's performed, because initially it felt a bit stiff, the toe box felt a bit high, and we didn't expect that much from the EvoSpeeds, but it has proven us wrong. Time and again we've put them into use throughout matches and they've held up really well. Durability is not an issue. We've used them in many matches, many training drills. The sole is not separating from the sole plate. In spite of the heat and the artificial turf around here, in spite of the humidity, and it just seems like a very, very solid shoe, especially given its weight. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you managed to get useful information for these pair of boots, so that when you actually make a choice on what pair of boots to buy, you can make an informed decision and find the right pair of boots for you, so that you can enjoy the game to the fullest. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again in our next video.